Greetings and salutations to my channel, CryptoQ Media. And then there's a fire. I hope you've been paying attention. Things have been going downhill as of late. The value of XRP plummeted from 62,000 to 54 cents. Traditional markets, especially the stock market, have completely collapsed. It was apparently the deadliest event to occur on that day since the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020. Estimates with values in the trillions of dollars just disappeared. Everything is getting crazy at the moment. A bond forms between felines and canines. A whole and total breakdown of reason, isn't it? The question is, will our world come to an end? Definitely not. On this matter, I am firmly opposed. What has set this whole thing in motion? I'll fill you in on that, plus share some expert thoughts on what this means for the future. Is this the peak for crypto bullish prices? Could things possibly change around? If you're even somewhat anxious about the subject matter of the video, I guarantee you'll feel much better after it's over. We need to follow a certain protocol in order to solve this, therefore let's find out what set this in motion. Actually, cryptography is completely unrelated to it. The fact that XRP has flaws doesn't imply that its price fell today. In other words, the dangers of investing in crypto or stocks are seen in the same light. Yes, indeed. Now that we've covered Bitcoin, let us move on to XRP. My opinion is based on the findings of 4 or 5 XRP chart analysts. XRP is the one cryptocurrency I refuse to sell, even with the current drop. Before I tell you anything, I want to clarify that I do not come from a financially privileged household. I am not giving you financial advice, so you shouldn't base your purchases or sales on anything. Yes, I am fully admitting that I am just a curious bystander who enjoys creating cryptocurrency-related videos for fun and leisure on YouTube. It all starts on Friday, August 2nd, 2024, at 1:42 p.m. Central Time, when I capture this footage. That makes sense to me. With this, there's no need for a steep discount to start the weekend. Wishing you a positive energy-filled weekend. XRP's fortunes have turned around somewhat. I indicated earlier that it fell to about 54 cents. At the moment, more than 56 cents. Apologies, but Bitcoin fell to a low of 62,420. It is now marginally more expensive, at 62,887. Radar hits, which caused a 2.9 trillion loss in stock value this morning because to worries of a worldwide recession, are clearly visible if you look attentively. Compared to the COVID-19 epidemic, it was the most terrible day. Although the precise low moment at which the price of Bitcoin plunged is vague at best, what I do remember is the 2020 crash. As many of you may remember, XRP did briefly fall to 10 cents on the day of that massive crash. I was only able to get it for 15 cents because its pricing was so cheap. Obviously, we are having a picnic. The significance is lost on me. This kind of thing happens all the time. The stock market plummets. Anxieties is setting in for many. Oh my gosh, the market was plummeting in 2020, leading people to believe the world was going to end. Get a bird's eye view of the situation. You may buy XRP for 10. Did that mean the world was going to end? It was most certainly not, I'm sorry to say. If you fast forward a year, you'll see that XRP was trading at 10 cents in March of 2020. A little over a year later, it had grown to a 20-fold increase during this seemingly endless period of uncertainty. Is it, however, correct if you think the end of the world is near, comparable to the end of the United States of America, then you must also believe that the markets will not function. If you think that, then it's understandable to be terrified. However, in your opinion, Does that follow logically just like this? Okay, am I done? Obviously not, but when was this actually done? Stocks have plummeted after this week's labor data, and Yahoo Finance has a tool that shows how investors are responding to bad news. Allow me to present you with an idea. The market is irrational in general and unrelated to XRP or any cryptocurrency specifically. Does selling XRP now that it's cheaper make sense? Given that the fundamentals have never been stronger, would it be wise to sell XRP given the current circumstances? In this case, you get to decide. But does XRP have any underlying problems? I am willing to argue the answers if you ask me to. Clearly, XRP wouldn't be enough to trigger a decrease on its own if that were true. Although it falls short of being comprehensive, you are making good progress. No. What has transpired after the stock market fall in early August is explained below. The jobs data for July was the most recent in a series of disappointing economic statistics that have triggered a recession signal that is often watched. The S&P 500 has also declined by around 4%, following the Nasdaq Composite. After a precipitous decline of nearly 10% from its mid-July peak and subsequent attempts to prolong the fall by over 5%, the Nasdaq index has entered a correction. The markets still see bad news as bad news, even though there is free money available. Vision investors are even starting to ask recession-related questions and have started to review their economic slowdown playbooks to weaker than expected, stated Scott Kroner, head of U.S. equities strategy at Citi, in a message to investors on Friday. Data reported on Thursday showed the U.S. industrial activity at its lowest level since November 2023 and the worst weekly unemployment claims reading in almost a year, which originally spurred this week's selling. That concludes it. Everything, including XRP, falls in tandem when the stock market falls along with cryptocurrency. Yes, that is the current state of affairs. The Russell 2000, which I double-checked before taping it, has dropped by about 4% as of this writing. At this very moment at 1:46 p.m. Central Time, the entire planet is engulfed in flames. This is when the Guardian's fear of humans shows. Global markets are trembling as tech shares fall and a recession looms on the horizon. Concerns over a possible U.S. economic recession and dismal profits from technology companies sent stock markets around the globe plunging on Friday. The already high unemployment rate was made worse by a bad employment report that showed the U.S. job market was cooling down fast, which added fuel to the fire of this sell-off. A lot of people in the financial sector are concerned that the U.S. economy could not be as strong as the Fed had hoped, which could cause them to drastically lower interest rates in September or perhaps implement an emergency rate cut earlier in the year to boost demand. Something very interesting is about to transpire. In my view, rate cuts should be implemented regardless of the market's desire for them. The market is hoping for a decrease in interest rates. It is almost guaranteed to take place in September. It seems like the market is putting its money on it. Still, some are speculating that it might come even sooner, however this is just based on human nature. So, how does the market respond under these conditions? We are apprised of the market's desire for this. Isn't it incredibly clear? To put it simply, this is what buyers want. If this happens, the market will respond by increasing the number, won't it? Just so you know, I am not speculating on prices in any way. It would mean the world to me if you could hit that subscribe button and give my channel a thumbs up. In the meantime, goodbye.